Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to join you right now. We are about to have quite an interesting session. I don't want to say this is a Bible teaching. I just want it to be informative. I want it to be reflective. I want it to actually stroke a chord in your brain so that it can get you thinking. Someone who is watching this video right now, you've probably seen the title. It's like Wage War Against the Past. And it's quite interesting that I want to have this conversation with you. My question is, do you feel at some point in your life like you're stuck in the past? And most importantly, I want to discuss with you how to overcome this setback, because many people are not getting the results that they intend for their lives. That is, you cannot get into the next relationship. You cannot start that new business. You cannot build that new relationship with a friend, because why? You were hurt by a friend in the past, and so making new friends is a challenge for you. Maybe you were cheated on by your previous girlfriend or boyfriend, and so getting into a new relationship is a challenge for you. Maybe your boss treated you bad, or maybe you went to a church and they didn't treat you well, and you're like, I don't want to have anything to do with the church anymore. I don't know what that is for you, but what I understand today, many people are stuck in the past. Many people are stuck in the past. And the reason why you see many people are on social media consuming all this content that people are producing is because people want to go past those barriers, those challenges that are actually affecting them from achieving success. And so with that, I wanted to help us overcome this barrier of people getting stuck in the past. I would like to share a very interesting story with you. In my practice as a counselor, we had this one particular client, and this client was experiencing a challenge with her husband. She was in her 40s. When her 40s, the husband was maybe somewhere in his 60s. So she was in her third marriage, and this woman was actually struggling to love this man. And so she would pour all kind of hate on this man, fight this man. And when they came to my practice and I started observing the story, asking questions, getting to know the woman better, getting to know the relationships she's had in her life in the past, and I realized that this woman had not gotten over a relationship that she had when she was very young, say 14. She had not gotten over that relationship. And that relationship was holding her so bad, and that she is treating this man the way she's doing because of the pain that she had in the relationship when she was 14. So she can't really love this man, and so she sees everything that this man does as evil based on the experience she had in the past. I use this story to help you understand that once I was able to identify that it was an issue in her life that she had at the age of 14, that is, I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. Maybe there's an issue that you experience, or some situation that you experience at the age of 5, and it's controlling your destiny right now. It's controlling your life right now. There is more that you can have and experience in life, but because of the experience that you had when you were, say, 10, you are letting that define your future. How do you go past the past? How do you overcome the past if you're stuck in the past? Because when people are stuck in the past, right, as researchers have found out, when you're stuck in the past, it's like your emergency alarm system is on all the time. It's like you feel like something is about to happen that is going to wreck you, is going to destroy you. You just have this alarm system that is controlling your life. And you step into a room and you feel immediately like, oh, people don't mean well for you. They're looking at you a certain way. I remember we're producing a music video a couple of years ago, and we had this guy come around and we were doing this music video together. It was quite an amazing scene because we saw people that just came around and wanted to be part of what we were doing. They were there looking at us, and all of a sudden this guy approaches me and said, see, these people don't like us. They're thinking evil about us. See the way they are looking at us. And I'm like, how did you know? How did you know that they were thinking that way about us? And just to find out at the end of the day, these people are just friendly. They just love us. They want to take pictures with us. They're happy to see us doing what we are doing. But my friend had this negative perspective, and he had this so strong in his mind. And he said, the way they are looking at us, they don't like us. And the reason why I'm throwing all of these examples is to prop into your own story, your own journey, your life, what you've seen, what you've experienced, so that you can be able to overcome the past. Okay. Guys, if you look at the Bible, it talks about a very, very interesting strategy as to how you can achieve success, right? In the book of Matthew chapter 7. And Jesus Christ encourages us that if you want something, you got to ask for it, right? He says, ask and it shall be given, knock and the door shall be open, seek and you shall find. These principles are timeless. And so if you want to overcome this impediment of being stuck in the past, because I'm speaking about this because it's very important. All you have to do is ask, right? And the way you can move from the past to the future is to have a goal that inspires you. That is pillar number one. You need a goal for the future. And now I want to bring this home to my folks from the English-speaking part of Cameroon to let us understand that we need a compelling goal for the future to overcome the past. Because it is not only at the level of relationships or our personal life, our entire part of the nation is stuck in the past. We're stuck in 1958, we are stuck in 1961, we are stuck in 1972, we are stuck in the past. Why? Because of what happened with our predecessors. We cannot see a bright future. Right now, we have been in war for 7 years. And imagine, we are stuck in the past. I mean, you can use other words. You can call it was marginalization. It was assimilation. You can use all of these words to persuade yourself as to the reason why you should be killing each other and fighting right now. But I sum it up in one word: stuck in the past. Stuck in the past. Stuck with what happened yesterday. Because when you look at your life today and you say, that is what happened, but right now I'm going to carve a better future for myself, and I will lay a plan, and I will see myself achieving my goals, and I am going to be excited. That is your entire body is about to create that dopamine, because that's my goal for you, that you leave this video today having a sense of purpose and direction, a plan, that your entire nervous system produces dopamine, that energy. You understand what I'm saying? That says, I see something better out of my life, and because of that I am excited, and so I'm going to let go of the past. It might be a new relationship that you are excited about starting. It might be a new business that you're excited about starting. It might be a reconciliation plan that you're excited about engaging. Like, I am going to start a reconciliation plan. There's something fascinating about the English people of Cameroon, because when you have a great destiny, the enemy always looks for ways to stop you. And what is happening right now in our nation is a plan of the enemy to hold us down. But do you know what is interesting about it? When I look at the nation that our leaders that are leading this movement are pointing to, Eritrea, a nation that is ranked number 45 out of 46 nations in sub-Saharan Africa, one of the poorest nations in sub-Saharan Africa. And our leaders are taking us from where we are with a GDP of about 45 billion to where we are seeing that nation with a GDP of $2 billion. Eritrea is the example they are following. And I want to let you guys know, I didn't know, honestly, I was just sharing this with a friend of mine this morning. I didn't know it was that easy to manipulate people. It is easy to manipulate people. I didn't know. All you have to do is add a PhD or a doctor behind your name, and people will believe anything that you say. That is, you just add a PhD behind your name, a doctor. They just think what you are saying is accurate, and people can be in war for 7 years with just the belief that you're a doctor. And so the first thing is go get a doctor. If you get a doctorate behind your name, people are going to believe you. Your strategies are accurate, and they believe that you know exactly what you're doing. So guys, if you're stuck in the past, that means you might probably lose what God has in store for you. You will waste a lot of time. You waste resources. But when you are not stuck in the past, you see the future brighter. You understand how to maneuver through situations and be able to come up with conclusions that are not clouded by judgments based on the past. Okay. So, guys, in this dispensation, in this 21st century, what we need in the English-speaking part of Cameroon, and this applies to your personal life as well, if you're from the English-speaking part of Cameroon, we need an unconventional approach to achieve unconventional results. You cannot use conventional approach to achieve unconventional results. We need unconventional approach to arrive at unconventional results. Am I making sense? There is a saying that a fool at 40 is a fool forever. Yes, we grew up hearing that a lot. But we believe that personal development can happen at any stage or at any level in your life. But this statement is true that a fool at 40 is a fool forever. Why? Because after 40, you're probably set in your ways. You're set in your ways of doing things, your ways of believing, your ways of acting. That is just the reality. You need to be able to put in extra effort to get out of some habits that you've been set on that are holding you down after 40. And which is why when I look at our nation right now, and I just want to say to the people who are under the age of 40, you've seen what is happening right now in Burkina Faso. It's not just about your president, it's about you as an individual rising up, right? You guys got to be able to challenge conventional thinking. And conventional thinking requires you waging war against the past. Waging war against the past. We have to wage war against any memory of the past, every story of the past, every ideology of the past, every belief system of the past that has not been serving us. And that goes with tribalism, and that goes with nepotism, and that goes with every ideology that is coming from the products of the past. Challenge those belief systems. And that is why if you're 40 and below, you have to be very careful when you take advice from anybody who is 40 and above. They are probably set in their ways, and they will screw you up and ruin your life. This is the time for you guys, if you're 40 and below, to wage war against all folks that have not been able to design a life for themselves, and so they want you to fight a battle that they ought to fight when they were in their prime, when they were young like you. They run away from those battles. They didn't stand and face the enemy in the eyes, and today they want to use you as a tool to fight that battle. See, let me be honest with you guys. The life expectancy of Cameroonians is about 60, 61. That is the life expectancy of the average Cameroonian. That is, if you go past 60, 61 in Cameroon, you're blessed. So that is the life expectancy. And if someone is giving you an advice at the age of 50, how old do you think they have left? Probably 10, 15 years. How old are you? Probably 15. You're probably 20. You're probably 30. You still have a life ahead of you. And when you take this conventional approach to solving problems, and guess what? You lose your life, and this person is still alive, and you, not knowing that you have a long life ahead of you, and you can create a new path out of this broken system, infiltrate the system. I know of brothers and sisters that are living in nations that don't speak English. I just want to let you guys know, straight up. They live in nations that don't speak English. And they arrived those nations not knowing how to speak English. Within 3 months, they were able to learn that native language so that they can get a job and so that they can find a woman in that nation. Within 3 months, they could learn that new language. I was conditioned from birth not to like French, and so I never made any effort to learn that language. It would have been a plus for me to navigate that system. Because guys, you take what life throws at you. It might be a situation like the one that we find ourselves in. You take what life throws at you, and the Bible tells us that all things work together for the good of they that trust the Lord and are called according to his purpose. The Chinese people are learning English right now. They are not fools, because they understand the power of that language in doing business. When you find yourself in a system, Mr. Leo, Kosi, and all of these celebrities in Cameroon, they are learning how to sing in French, and they are singing in French and English and penetrating a system and generating enormous wealth for their lives. These are young people that have seen the light. I'm not a fan of secular music, but their example is evident. It's evident of how you can transform yourself within a broken system and emerge victorious. Get in there, learn their own style, learn the way they do things, add it with yours, and become extraordinary. That is the approach. You wage war against the past. This is my one life that I have right now. I will penetrate the system. I'm not just going to die. And I just want to say, let the old folks that believe so much in the past, they refuse to wage war against the past. Their entire narrative is based on the past. Their alarm systems are all alert based on the past. Go down and fight the battle that you ought to fight when you were young, and you did not fight, and you ran away, and you want to use young people to go fight the battle that you feel this grievance in your heart. Go fight that battle. Let the young people breathe. They have a life ahead of them. They should choose their destiny. Go fight your battle. Young people, don't die. I just watched a breaking news this morning that about 12 young people were killed in Cameroon. They were killed in the southwest region. 12 young people were killed by the military in the southwest region. People are the greatest resource, and not minerals in the soil. People are the greatest resource. With people, you can do amazing stuff. People should not be dying. Young people do not die. If you guys stop fighting, they will quit, because they are using you as pawns to fight. And I say, stop fighting and don't die. Stay alive at all costs. We need you. A little bit, we need you. And there are strategies and businesses that together we will put our heads and we'll make our way in the world. We will penetrate every system in Africa, and we will make it. Some of us did not come here just to go abroad and make money. Some of us came here to mine ideas. So when we come back, we will take over. And do not die. And this message is coming from a brother that loves you. I'm not affiliated to any of the political mafia that is going on, but I know that people can be able to transform their lives if they are able to let go of the past, look at the future with optimism, penetrate every system that stands on their way, and they will make it. Nothing can stop you. When you let go of the past, new opportunities open up for you. When you let go of the past, you have a new perspective of the future. When you let go of the past, you're able to approach the situation with unconventional wisdom, and you can be able to make your way. Do not die. A very interesting story that I find fascinating in the Bible, and that's why I want our young people, because my principles are based on the Word of God. These people advising you, what do you believe? Look, friends, I'm not speaking jargons here, and I want to make sure that my language is as clear so that you get the point. God has never stressed to get anything he wants for his people. God has never stressed to get anything he wants for his people. It is as simple as that. Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? Choose the path of least resistance. Choose the path of least resistance. There is no story in the Bible where people had to struggle with God in their presence for 7 years. Talk less, 30 years. There is no recorded story in the Bible that people had to stress that much. Case in point, the children of Israel were in Egypt for 400 years. The moment God wanted them to come out of Egypt, after 400 years, there was no bloodshed. Moses, go down there and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Moses walked into that nation and left with those people. And any enemy trying to attack them drowned in the sea. God doesn't stress to bless his people. He doesn't stress to empower his people. That is the principle of God. It's as basic as that. I want to make it very simple for you. This is it, guys. God said, I'm taking you out of this land into the promised land. And they came out of Egypt. A journey that would have taken them approximately 11 to 13 days took them 40 years because of their stubbornness. 40 years they were in the wilderness. And some of us here are in the wilderness and we think God is in it. No, you got to understand God. When leaders get up and start telling you that there should be no Christmas, they don't have God in their heart at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? When leaders rise up and say, oh, we should let go of Christmas and stay at home to go observe the war, those people don't have God in their heart, and God doesn't operate that way. His principles are very evident. They are clear. You can see it. It's in the word. They stood there for 40 years. Do you know why these people were in the wilderness for 40 years? Because they went into the promised land, saw the grapes that God told them that you're going into a land flowing with milk and honey. They doubted God. And because they doubted God, and he said, you all will perish in the wilderness, I will only take your children into that promised land. That is why God is telling me, rise up and talk to the people that are 40 and below in the English speaking part of Cameroon. If you're 40 and above and you believe in our cause and you possess this unconventional thinking and you're willing to partner with us, we welcome you. If you're 40 and above, guys, turn on your TV, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, look at all the leaders that are propagating this war. They are above 40. Facts. All the leaders that are pushing you into war, they are above 40. They've had their time and they are fixed and set in their ways. What I'm saying right here, it can't think in most of them. It won't get in. And that is why I'm telling you, this is your time. Don't let the past be a hindering factor to your own development, to your own growth, to your own prosperity. You need to get married to your own wife. You need to be able to drive your own car. You need to be able to have your own house. You need to be able to have your own business. And that is my prayer for you. And don't shortchange yourself. Don't die young with this kind of foolish thinking, because people have this pain that they have harbored in their hearts in the past. I want to let you know, people say, oh no, the French people started the war. Let me tell you guys something. Give me a break. And everybody share this video if you're watching. If you are not prepared for war, someone cannot push you to war. You must be prepared, even in your mind, that if something happens, we will do something. And then when they push you, you start fighting. If I was not prepared for war, you cannot push me and I start fighting war with you. Most of young people growing up in that nation have been conditioned that someday something like this will happen. It is not a coincidence. And let me tell you guys something, right? Weak people will always want to push through even with a bad idea and to the end. Strong people stop and think and say, hey, but what I'm hearing, what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing is something that I should really, really retract my steps, calculate before I move forward. Weak people will go until they die. Strong people will step back and say, even if they say I'm a fool, I will understand what is going on, and then I will be able to approach this problem in a whole different way. Weak people will go and die, and they say what? The blind lead the blind, they will fall in a ditch. The blind lead the blind, they will fall inside a pit, inside a well, and they will die. If you're following a blind person, you will enter that grave with them. They say the fly follows the carcass into the grave, and they are buried. Our leaders are showing us Eritrea as an example of a nation that they look up to. A country that is full of drought, poverty, all of their money is going to the military. They have nothing to show for, and they fought the war for 30 years, and that nation has been existing for 32 years, and they are one of the poorest nations in Africa, and it's where you want to carry everybody in this nation to go to. Let us look like that. Let's look at the best nation in the world and copy the example. And when you see that nation that you are looking up to, and that dream is inspiring, you will not be caught up in the past. When you look at that beautiful woman that you end up getting married to, this one that has break your heart, you will just forget about her. When you see the next job that you're about to get into, you will forget about this job that they just got you fired from. When you see a bright future ahead, and today, guys, I present to you the Jews, the Americans, their way of life, which is what we see and admire. Most of our people want to travel to these nations. We have lived in these nations, interacted with these people, see what they are doing, and that is what we will start copying and doing in every block, every city, every community in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. How these people see money, what they believe about money, what they believe about development, how they build their societies, how they cooperate with one another. And we are going to transform the English-speaking part of Cameroon block by block with this strategies. See, guys, the easiest thing in life is, if you want a good relationship, you want good marriage, just go look for someone who is married and has a good relationship and ask them, what is the secret? My wife and I, when we met and we were building a relationship, and we saw this man and this man in the community, he had an amazing family with his wife. They were so excited. We had to go meet them and ask, what is the secret to a good marriage? Ask your leaders, who did you go meet to talk about this idea of a new country that you want to take us to? This is a very interesting question to ask them. Which nation are you looking at? What is your example? What strategies are you applying to take us to that nation? These are good questions to ask. We went, and she told us, the woman and the husband, they said, the secret is that we sit together. We always together. We have this unity. And just sitting together, she said, yes, it's going to create an amazing bond. And guess what? My wife and I, we started learning how to sit together. And we realized, just sitting together, people just admire you. Imagine when you see a couple together, don't you smile? Don't you like it? You do. And we asked them, and they were able to teach us what they did to have a great relationship. And what did we do? We went home and we started practicing it. When I was about to start a business here in America, I didn't know how to do it. Do you know what I did? I went and looked for someone who is successful with that business and asked them, what are you doing to get that same result? And they told me, and I came and I applied it in my business, and I got the same result. When I was stuck, I would call them, they would keep guiding me, and then I found my way. And I want to let you know, today, if you're 40 and below in Cameroon, I know you still have a fresh mind. The future is still bright for you. Do not shortchange your life. And hear me well. We have to rise up, just like you see the guy in Burkina Faso rising up and changing his country. We have to do that in business, in the health sector, in agriculture. It is our time. It is our time. I'm telling you, it's our time. It's not this old folks, these people you watch on TV, not these old folks that you watch on TV. Is the audio good? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And I want to let you guys know that it is our time. These people were against God's plan. And so God said, none of you old people will enter the promised land. You will die all in the wilderness. I will take only the young people into the promised land with Joshua and Caleb. Remember, Joshua and Caleb. The rest of the people died in the promised land. And I want to tell young Cameroonians, if your old folks are stuck in the past, those who I know they are great old folks that I've met from English-speaking Cameroon, smart, intelligent people, they are blazing the trail here in the United States and other parts of the world. They are extremely intelligent. We welcome you. For those who are 40 and above that are stuck in 1961 and 1959, we do not welcome you. We've drawn a line here. There is a growth mindset and there is a fixed mindset. The growth mindset is a progressive mindset. It's a mindset that will embrace unconventional thinking. The fixed mindset is conventional thinking. This is the way we've known it. This is the time of funcha. And some of them will tell you we have been in this battle for 35 years or 40 years. You are just coming out. What do you know? And those kind of people, they are fixed mindset. They are stuck in the past. If Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he started this company, Facebook, where we watch some of these videos. He started this company 20 years ago. They would have told him, you are just a young person coming. What do you know? But today we have Facebook with this young individual that is blazing the trail, and he's challenging all these multi-billionaires. And I'm saying this is how we, the young people of English-speaking part of Cameroon, we will rise up, partner, team up, network, build amazing companies in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. We will walk our way through poverty. We don't need any resource. Don't even give us a resource. We will make our way. If all we have is breath in our lungs and our brain, we will make our way in that country. We will make our way. The greatest asset you have as an English-speaking Cameroonian is the ability that you can communicate in English. That is the greatest asset you have. Do you know that the nations that are so wealthy, super wealthy, most of them speak English? That includes America, that includes Canada, that includes Britain, Australia. Do you know what it will mean for you that you're able to do business with these companies, with these countries? That's amazing, y'all. There are customer service jobs that we can establish from Cameroon, and you can be able to serve as a customer service agent here in the diaspora with that English that you speak. And we will train you. We will do that. We got to keep all these guns and tell all your brothers and sisters, those who are holding guns and going out to fight, say, do not die. We will develop that land and we will make it. Our history will be the one that people across the nation, Africa and worldwide, they will come to look at what we have built in that country. They will come to look at what we have developed out of this broke nation, this broke part of the country, that they thought nothing good can come out of us. We will be the underdogs. We will be the Davids, that we will rise up and transform our own economy. We will do it. And as I'm telling you guys, I heard some people say, don't go celebrate Christmas. Go out there and celebrate that day. Buy food and celebrate that day and praise God. It is not a political day. It is a day of our Lord Jesus Christ that created you, gave breath in your lungs, gave you food, gave you shelter, gave you everything that you have. You should not forfeit that day for anything else. Soldiers, keep your gun down and celebrate Christmas. English-speaking Cameroon, we will trust God in everything that we do. Even in our bitterness and our anger, we will obey God. Enough is enough. We're tired of this madness. We're tired of this thinking, this conventional thinking, this low resolution thinking. Psychopathic maniacs with visions and ideologies that are very crippling, lame. We're tired of this madness. I was born in Bamenda. I'm a son of Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. I'm from Mancon. I believe in the legacy of Fonangwafo. I understand how he was able to unite every tribe and say, my town will be free. Everybody can come in here and do business and build a family and live a life in this place. We are not going to restrict anybody in this place. It's going to be a no man's place. And he welcomed every tribe. And I want to let you guys know, we will continue in that spirit. We will be open. We will not have a closed mind. A closed mind is a closed mouth. And a closed mouth is a closed destiny. We are stretching. So what did I say? Wage war against the past. Past traditions that don't serve us. Wage war against them. We should take this thing personal. Europe, France, America, they had to dissolve their tribes at some point and say, these tribes are not serving us. They are setting up confusion among young people. And we say we will get rid of these tribes. They said these multiple languages that we speak, and all of a sudden we cannot understand each other because the Tower of Babel, if you notice the Tower of Babel, that was when God came and set confusion among the people. Because why? They were building a tower to challenge God. And because they were building a tower to challenge God, God said, I'll make them speak multiple languages. So when someone say, give me a stone, you hear, give me water. And so you guys don't understand each other. And so there was confusion in the camp. And I just want to say, God was able to step in there and dismantle that whole project by making the people to speak different languages and they don't understand each other. So when nations wanted to achieve national development, they said a unifying language is essential. And every other language, they got to let go. War against the past, guys. War against the past. Are you understanding me? Are you picking what I'm putting on the ground? Are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? We got to let go of the past. We want better schools than these tribal languages. We want better roads. We want better jobs. You want to be able to have some money in your pocket. And so all of these factors that are hindering your own development, we got to let them go. In our evolutionary cycle, where we are right now, we are the development stage. We are supposed to be building and not fighting. That is what we see on our evolutionary cycle. We are supposed to be at the stage where we are building. And I was just reading this book today and I'm showing you guys, look at it. I was just telling my wife, it says right here, focus on the end rather than the means. Right here. And these are things that I've been telling her for close to a month here. And I'm like, do you see exactly what I saw in this book? This is what I wrote down. This book alone, guys, have the power to change our whole economy. This small book, U squared, powerful book. And it says what? We should be focusing on schools. We should be focusing on roads. We should be focusing on businesses. We should be focusing on development, agriculture, and not focusing on separation. Now they've made the end separation. That would be a means, which means it can be replaced if we find another means to achieve the same goal. And I've said we can be able to restore our nation, squash this problem, talk with the president in 2 years, if you give me your voice. In 2 years, we will achieve these goals. We will have the support of the international community. Nations like USA, Canada, and Britain will come to our aid in 2 years if you listen to me. God is with us. Young people, God is with us. See, guys, 62% of Cameroonians are under the age of 24. No, I'm saying more than half of the country is under the age of 24. Do you think that all these old folks, they understand the needs that we are dealing with? They understand our needs, our challenges, how you're relating in life. They know all the social media pressure that you have to deal with, everything. They don't understand that. They don't understand the needs that you have. I do. Some of our young people and young brothers who are powerful, doing amazing stuff, so they do. They understand that. It says focus on the end rather than the means. Our leaders have exchanged the means for the end. Eritrea and independence is their end. And so they are finding every way to get there. I thought we wanted roads. I thought we wanted schools. I thought we wanted good jobs. I thought we didn't want to be marginalized. I thought we could do that. I thought that was what we wanted. If that is what we want, then we should be looking for means and not end. Which means if you try this approach, it doesn't work, you should be flexible enough to change. When you're stuck on this particular direction, indicates that you are caught up in the past. And God let those people die in the wilderness. You will not enter that promised land. Your legs will not step fit there. Just these young people and your children will get in there. You will not. And that is what God does to people who don't trust him, who are stuck in the past. So young people, we draw this line. Without you, there will be no fighting. And they know this. And so they are using you for this propaganda. Anybody that will tell you something that happened some 50 years ago and say, go fight, it's a terrible idea. I'm not saying we don't study history, right? Study history and have perspective so that you're not deceived again next time. Study your past relationships that you've had. The people that came and you thought they were cool people, but they turned out to be snakes. Study their moves. Study them well. And say, next time you will not do me like this. The next person that is coming will not treat me like this. That is the purpose of history. It's not to go start a war. It's not to go peel off and say, no, this is how it was now and let's start. No. That's very myopic. That's a suboptimal way of thinking. That is a low resolution thinking. So guys, And this goes for Africa, because I know we have Africans on this channel. The way for us to move forward is to wage war against the past. Wars against traditions that you look at and you say, how does this tradition put food on my table? Let it go. Tribal languages that they force you to speak and it's causing confusion, and they say, no, you have to have a secret in the family, and they hold you down with all of that. All of those languages causes confusion in the community, and say, how is this language putting food on my table? How has this language helped me to build a house, build a business? And say, I'll let it go. We got to let some of these things go. That is a challenge for us. That's the real war we should be fighting. Because you know what they have realized right now? They've realized that they were trying to go change a country. And they are stuck. Because they are realizing now that they should have been changing themselves first. Having more unity and love among themselves first. Because now they are at the point where they are confusion because they didn't start by changing themselves. Now they are fighting with each other. They have had over 7 presidents. We still have one in Cameroon. They have 7 presidents already. And they're like, okay, now that we're stuck here, they start coming up with all kinds of different schemes and different strategies to keep you fighting. The first place you start in this life, my brother, honestly, even with me, is to change my own life first. I cannot be talking to you. You see, when this thing starts, I got to go change me first. I got to be me first. Right now, with who I am, I can talk and I will back it up. Because I know I am whole. I got my own healing first. To forgive the past first. To see life differently first. I had to be objective and not be emotional. Have I lost relatives in this battle? I've lost relatives in this battle. I've lost friends in this battle. But I got to step out and look at the problem objectively in order to have perspective to solve it. I cannot be inside and emotional in it and solve it. You cannot. Any solution you provide will not help. You get what I'm saying? And this is the healing that I want to take place in our land. Heal your hearts from this blood that we have spilled. Thousands of people have died. These are resources. Great people, we don't know who they were. Some of them were medical doctors that died. You didn't know because they were still growing. You didn't know their future. You don't know their future. Some of them were medical doctors. They died. Some of them are probably going to be engineers. They're dead. Some of them will probably build companies. They are dead. Some of them will be those who will travel abroad and do amazing things. They are dead. Some of them would have established businesses within the community. Where are they? They're in the grave. Why? Because these people that are stuck in the past, all they see is resource. They see some oil in the ground. They see some gold in the ground. They don't see you and I. And that's why I love people. People first. When we put our heads together, things will come out. We will get the programs. We'll get the money. You don't need to worry about that. We will get all of them. We have to have ourselves first. You get what I'm saying? From the time of Foncha, you realize there have been disagreements among our leaders, and it's still happening till today. We got to start home, guys. You cannot go fix another person's house without fixing yours first. Unite with your brothers and sisters. Dissolve all of these tribes that are causing confusion among you guys and be united first. And we capture our minds and our heart and we're thinking in one direction. And as we start doing that, every other thing is going to come. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And then all these things shall be added unto you. It means there are things coming when you seek the kingdom. And what does that kingdom look like? It's a place of unity. It's a place of love. It's a place of understanding. It's a place of wisdom. It's a place that you comprehend and you understand what God is up to. When you get there, all these things will be added. Smart people don't struggle in life. Smart people don't struggle in life. And we have to choose the path of least resistance. All this talk that they tell you, you got to try like 10, 20, 15 years before you know that this thing will work. No, hell no. You might just be on the wrong plan. You might be on the wrong plan, on the wrong program, on the wrong direction. You might not just be doing the right thing. You don't have to stress. See, if something is stressful for me, I let it go. I step back, I research, and I find out what I need to be doing, and I do the right thing, get the result. If something is tough, it's not an indication that you're on the right track. If something is too hard to achieve, God just say, come out. And see, when God was taking the children of Israel into that promised land, you know what happened? You guys don't need to fight. You don't need a weapon. Just go around that place and sing and praise for 6-7 days, and the walls of Jericho will come down and you take over the land. And they did exactly that. You see how simple it is? When you follow God's word, it works in your life and in your community and in your family and everything that you do. Go there, sing praises across that city. The walls will come down. When Jackie Chan was doing films, right, in China, he knows that if I climb a wall, I really climbed that wall. And if I go down, I really fell down. And that's how Jackie Chan, that you all know him, that is how he acted movie in China. But when he came to America, he realized that what they mean by climbing the wall is a green screen. You just stay behind a green screen and you climb and you act like you're climbing, and then they are going to put a wall. And they don't stress least resistance. And he said, oh, I thought it was real. And some of you will say, oh, no, that Jackie Chan is a real dude because he had to stress like that. No, the person that don't have to break their bones to do the real thing, they are the smartest people. The people that know how to invest right, they are the smart people. The people who know how to run business and have other people working in that business and they are not stressing or breaking their back and they are making money, those are smart people. You might say, oh no, those are the no. They are not the fools. They are not the people that are duping you. They are the smart people. And that is how they make money in this country. And that's how they outsource all their works, the tough and mundane work. They send it across overseas and hire some of us who come into this country to do those jobs for them so they can go ahead producing and thinking creatively. And that is what we'll bring to our nation. Our people will be doing that before I leave this world. I'm telling you, I'm not moving. I told my wife yesterday, and I told her that if there's one thing that I know that I will do, our people will be different before I leave this world. We will be different. English-speaking Cameroon will be different before I leave this world. We will penetrate and if at all, at the minimum, we will transform that particular part of the country before I leave this world. And then it will spread all over Cameroon. We are not going to leave our black brothers in French Cameroon because colonial powers came some years and divided us, and we are speaking different languages, and now we are head to head with each other. We are taking all over the whole territory and we're transforming our people. We are moving from there to Africa. We will transform that continent. It will start in the English speaking part of Cameroon. Steve Jobs said, everything you call life around you was created by people who were no smarter than you. And you can influence it. You can change it. You have the power to do that. You can change it. Some of these people, if I give them one punch, they'll be dead. I mean, they'll fall down and they cannot even wake up. And they're controlling you. Because they have doctor behind their names. I'm telling you, one punch, they're down. They won't wake up. And they are telling you what to do with the strength and energy and passion. You rise up. If they speak sense, we'll follow it. But if they're speaking foolishness, cut them off. Cut them off. You don't have to waste your time with bullshit. You don't have to do that. Guys, wage war against the past. Don't entertain any conversation that is based on the past. All it does is gossip, grief, pain, brings up anxiety. You have all these alarm systems in your body. It brings death, it brings war, it brings frustration, it brings confusion. People lose their houses, people lose their properties, people lose their loved ones. That is all it brings. I think Ninja Frundi was right. When in 92, when they said, oh, you lost the vote, you lost the election, why don't you strike a war? And he said, if all these people die, who shall I rule? How will you rule when the people are dead? How can you be passionate about people dying? How can you be excited and saying the future is gloom? I say the future of Cameroon is bright. The future of Northwest and Southwest is bright. I see a bright future ahead of us. 2024 will be a better year. Progressively, we are going to transform every sector of our economy, regardless of what has happened to us so far. We will transform our country. We will make our regions better. We will build back those roads and even better ones. We will build back our economy. We will build better schools. We will build better hospitals. We will not let all our brothers and sisters travel out to French Cameroon and other parts of the world and they are lost and they never return. We will build our nation again and those people will come back. And some of us will travel from abroad and come back home and engage in that development project. We will do it. How? We will do it. You heard me. We will do it. We do it. The Jewish people in this country are some of the most criticized people in the past throughout history. They never went to war. They never went to war with any nation. They went into their Bible, the Torah, as they call it, and looked for God's ways and applied it in every area of their lives. Businesses started popping up, banks, money. They became so wealthy that they cannot touch them on the earth. Today, they are the most respected group of people, extremely wealthy across the world. I've been privileged to be friends with some of them. I've gone and trained in their martial arts, Krav Maga, learn how to shoot guns, learn how to fight, learn how to be strong. And that is who the Jews are, the Israelis. Powerful people. And that is what Northwest and Southwest will be. You will not only have money, you'll be strong as well to protect your wife, protect your family. And wives, you'll be strong to protect your children. Both male and females, we are coming out. We are coming out. We're coming out of the past. We're coming out of all of these baggages from 1990. I mean, we're in 2023, for crying out loud. What is exciting about 2023? Let's talk about it. What is exciting? What do we see that we're fascinated about? Guys, is the life that we see the Jews experiencing, the Americans experiencing. We will be that too in Cameroon. We will be that too in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. If you believe me, I want you to begin to click and say, yes, I agree. Yes, I stand with you. Yes, I believe we can. It is you. You're either saying yes to your destiny or saying no to it. Your leaders are showing us Eritrea. Is that where you want to be? Some of you are encouraging you to pay a flight, go to that country and see what they are looking at. How can you be in Europe and you don't even look at the country where you live in and say that is the example that you want for your people? You leave that Europe that you find yourself in. You go to a foreign nation like Eritrea to go look at a broke nation that is struggling and barely making it. And that is where you think that your people should fight for 30 years and look like. I mean, we have brain. Oh, do you guys think with me now? Think with me. You live in Europe. If I want this tape, send it to the Amber Boys. This particular part, let the Amber Boys watch this. You live in Europe with this great civilization, and you don't think of copying what you see in Europe to come give your people. The example that you're citing for their future is Eritrea. A small country that broke out of Ethiopia some 32 years ago, and they have been struggling in abject poverty, and all their money is going to the military. Even the little development that the people are attempting to embark on, military comes and interfere with their development. That is the nation our leaders are pointing us to. And they keep using the example and say, let the Eritreans come and tell us how they did it. Really? No, I want the Jews to come and tell us how they did it. I want the Americans to come and tell us what they do. I'm here in America. If there's any example that I see, this is one of the best nations on earth. I want the people here to come and tell us how they built this nation. I would like the Jews to tell us how they did not use war as a tool to revenge, but they made it in America. That is what I would do. It's that simple. You see when people use all these jargons, all these rhetorics that they use to confuse you, because the purpose of communication is comprehension. And so when you're talking to people, we are taught in this nation, come down to their level. If you want to talk to a child, come down to their level. I know the demography of our nation. I know the level of education of our people. I understand what we do want. If I want to talk to you, I have to speak in plain language. The goal is not to impress you. The goal is to connect with you. The goal is that you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to impress you here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will bring Americans to come tell us how they did it. I will call on the Jews, of which I have many of them as friends, to come and tell us how they emerged successful around the world. Every nation that they find themselves in, they are respected. How did you guys do it without war? The path of least resistance. The path of least resistance. In this book that I was reading today, guys, fascinating book, the author said, why are you trying to climb the wall? Just open the door and walk through. A simple concept like that, but it's fascinating. Why are you struggling to climb the wall? open the door and walk through. That is unconventional thinking. Some people want to climb the wall even when they know there is a door. Why are you trying to push the water? Just go with the flow. You understand? So, guys, it is not easy. This was just a 1-point message. I know I've gone around it just to make sure that the point sinks, but the point remains. If you will get all that you want, a good wife, good husband, a good job, good roads, good schools, feel respected in Cameroon, have equal opportunity in Cameroon, guys, we will need to embark on systematic change. Changing systems within Northwest and Southwest. And we can only achieve that through what I call the ECSDP, English Cameroon Sustainable Development Project. That is the project we are embarking on. The English Cameroon Sustainable Development Project. That is, it will last. That is why that sustainable is there. It is not something for a short while. Our children's children will learn out of the blueprint that we are going to establish, and their generation will never see poverty. We want systematic change. It will be in the people. The Jewish people, guys, they put the system in their children. From birth, they are learning. They teach them how to handle money, how to build community, how to invest, how to understand that if you have 1,000 francs, this is how you use your 1,000 francs. You take 50, knowing that you will spend that 50 for your life and your rent and everything. The remaining 500, no, you split the 1,000 into two, right? You take 50% of that money, it goes towards your expenses. The remaining 50, you put 20 for investment. You put 20, you put 10 for tithing. You put another 20 for your own business and your life. They share their money. They start teaching them from birth. And that is what we will bring to you. That is what we will bring to our people. Your little children. Today, if you call my little boy, he's just 4. And if you ask him what is investing, he will tell you. Investing is putting your money to work. He will tell you what investing is. And when you have money, what do? The first thing is not that you go buy something and eat, or buy something to impress people. No, you put the money to work. Money is an asset. It's a machine that you put to work to produce you more money. And then you get more money out of that machine, and then that is what you can use. I teach my children these things, and that is how the Jewish people put it in their children when they are still small. Oil cannot give you that kind of wisdom. I'm laughing. You see what I'm saying? Minerals cannot give you that kind of wisdom. And that is what you leave in your children. It's more important than what you leave for your children. All the people that have left properties, inherited properties from their children, at the end of the day, what happens? They go broke. The children go broke. They cannot handle it. They cannot manage those properties. They go broke. But what you leave in your children, and that is what we will do to our people. We will leave in them wisdom. How to handle money, how to handle relationships, how to build communities, how to establish businesses, how to take over, how to conquer, how to stand out in your industry, how to be respected in your niche, how to experience quantum leap, even when everybody feels like they're going out of business, but yet you're still in business. How do you do that? We teach our people. We'll teach our people. So guys, I think we've had enough. But the message that I leave with you, wage war against the past. This strategy, I call it the commander's intent. The commander's intent. The commander's intent is a strategy that was devised by American military. They realized that when the commander sets a plan of action and the people go into battle, they realize that the topography changes. But now the soldiers will lose in battle. Why? Because they have to follow strict instructions based on what their commander told them. So when the commander realized that the soldiers were failing in their approach, they devised this strategy called the commander's intent. The commander's intent is that I let you guys understand the outcome of this war. We want to win. And this is the roadmap. I don't know what you're going to do because the topography or the geography might not be what we anticipate. And so what you have to do is be creative. But you know that at the end of the day, we want good roads, we want good schools, we want good businesses. We want everybody to come out of abject poverty. That is the goal. And we put that right there. And we say, go out there and fight. And as you learn and study from what we teach you, go out there and make a way. And with that, the soldiers were successful because why? They had the commander's intent, what the commander expects from them. And so they were creative in the battlefield. And so they came out victorious. And so there will be some aspect of the commander's intent in this project. That is so that you can use your brain, because it's the greatest thing you have. When people tell you not to think, they just want to restrict you, kill you, and just shut your mouth and take you out of this universe. So, but what I'm trying to let you know, the highest gift you have is your brain. That's all God gave you. You can have all this body, but you cannot use this body that much. The greatest gift is your brain. And so it will be the commander's intent. You'll be creative. I hope you've got some value out of this video so far. I hope you've been blessed by this video. And now you understand how going with the path of least resistance is the strategy. In order to get unconventional results, you need unconventional approach. So guys, I want to let you know you are the head and not the tail. You are above and you are not beneath. And you are favored by God. I wish you guys the best. And until next time, stay blessed.